What is entrapment in undercover operations? Have you ever wondered how undercover operations work in crime films and what entrapment really means? Let's break it down in a simple way. Entrapment is a legal defense that comes into play when law enforcement officers, often working undercover, persuade or pressure someone to commit a crime they wouldn't have done otherwise. This concept is frequently shown in crime films, where undercover cops push suspects into illegal acts, blurring the line between catching criminals and creating them. Undercover operations are tactics used by police where officers pretend to be criminals or regular civilians to gather evidence. These operations are common in crime movies, where the tension between the undercover officer and the suspect often drives the plot. But entrapment occurs when the officer goes beyond just offering someone a chance to break the law. If they use threats, harassment, or extreme persuasion, it can lead to entrapment. In real law enforcement, simply giving someone the chance to commit a crime is not considered entrapment. For example, if an undercover officer asks to buy drugs and the suspect agrees, that is not entrapment. However, if the officer lies or manipulates the person in a way that overcomes their resistance, that could be entrapment. Crime films sometimes exaggerate these scenarios for drama, showing officers pushing suspects to the edge or using emotional manipulation. From a crime movie perspective, entrapment is often portrayed as a gray area. The hero cop might feel tempted to bend the rules to catch a villain, or the plot may revolve around a suspect claiming they were set up. These stories highlight the ethical dilemmas and legal boundaries that law enforcement faces in undercover work. In reality, if entrapment is proven, it can lead to criminal charges being dismissed. In crime films, scenes often show undercover agents using deception or building trust with suspects, sometimes crossing the line into entrapment. These moments create suspense and moral conflict, making the audience question whether the ends justify the means. While crime movies may take creative liberties, the core idea remains. Entrapment is about law enforcement inducing crime, not just uncovering it. Specialized terms like sting operation refer to planned undercover actions designed to catch criminals in the act. In crime films, sting operations are often depicted as elaborate setups, sometimes involving multiple officers and dramatic confrontations. The concept of entrapment is closely tied to these operations, especially when the tactics used by police are questioned. Entrapment in undercover operations is about law enforcement officers pushing someone into committing a crime they would not have committed on their own. Crime movies use this idea to create tension and ethical dilemmas, but the real legal standard is strict and focuses on the methods used by police. The portrayal in films may be exaggerated, but the underlying issue is a real and important part of law enforcement tactics.